Hi all. The Way Forward is very proud today to present Women and POSH. The facilitator is Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon. She is the founder CEO of Right2Rise and RKT Foundation. She happens to be a very great expert in women and child rights. She's a specialist in that area, and POSH POSCO Act also is one of her very important areas. So it's over to you, ma'am. We would really be enlightened by your discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. So, what would you like to know about me?
I would like to know more about POSH and how women should be aware of it and how they need to be protective about their various actions.
Superb, superb. So, thank you very much, first of all, Anu, and the Way Forward, the TWF team, because this is the most important aspect that a woman wants, where she can probably come out and voice the importance of womanhood. And the most alluring and the most beautiful thing about women is that she carries her confidence and self-esteem wherever she goes. So no matter how many shades she has, no matter how much delight she has in her eye, she's always there to take her best foot forward, whether it's personal or professional. And when we understand professional, then we also know that in workplace, she stands out to hold her position, not getting shaken by the things around her. So today we are going to be speaking of a very important aspect in her professional space, and that is POSH Act. Hi, this is Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, founder CEO Right2Rise and RKT Foundation. Right2Rise is India's first and only organization, ISO certified, 21171-17024 accredited body, working into consulting, training, compliance, and audit of women and child rights. If you ask what rights, they could be women at workplace, it would be POSH Act, POCSO Act, human rights, a lot to do with code of conduct, mindset, biases, stereotypes, and stigma, and a lot of areas of mental health. And if we have to talk about POSH today, which is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, we also need to understand that every woman will have a lot of challenges that she's overcome today and made her opportunities. And almost, if I have to say, all of us who are hearing this podcast will understand, or this interview, that every person has a lot of scars in them. Every person has a lot of experience in them. And you can break a woman, you can deny a woman, you can temporarily put her down, but a real woman is only that person who lifts herself up, who picks herself up and rebuilds herself into something beautiful and new. And like we always say, that even if a glass falls or if a jar falls, you can always make something unique by putting all the pieces together. So in areas of POSH also, when we see a lot of challenges that women face at workplace, most of the aspects are communication faults that happen for men to understand women, women to understand men, and a lot of unwanted, unrespectful, unacceptable kind of statements that go, which can be sexual in nature, which should be focused and should not have done. That falls in POSH, which is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. Anything unwanted, unwelcome comments, which could be in the form of a demand, which could be in the form of a favor, which could be quid pro quo activity, or it could be also something which is pornographic, something which is dealing with the space of how you can communicate in the form of sexually colored remarks, and many more. So when we speak about POSH, I said there will be scars in each one of us. But whenever we see scars or whenever we see a broken woman, I always believe that if you want a pretty woman back and a most powerful woman, she will surely come back twofold and threefold so that she can support other women. So I'm sure you will also agree with this, Anu, that women never feel that they are all, on their own. And if somebody really hurts them, they come twice powerful and they would like to support all those people who have undergone the same scars.
Very
right?
true, very true. Yes.
So it's very important that we also understand and acknowledge that apart from the 3 A's of supporting women, that is awareness, acknowledgement, appreciation. We also help every woman who comes today and says, hey, I have a story to tell. I have something that I'm undergoing that I would like to share, and be there for you. So that's where POSH comes in. Right2Rise supports every woman who is from the unorganized sector or organized sector. When we say we are working towards the aspects of POSH and law, we are supporting women in terms of getting them to be more powerful by enabling them about the laws, enabling them about the rights, enabling them about what workplace comprises of. And when they are known to the laws and rights of the land, they should be knowing also about policies and structures. When you have knowledge, the next aspect is you understanding the different perspectives that people carry, because not everybody comes from the same background. So understanding that every person might mean something else is also important. So you might have a statement, for example, taking a case scenario. If a man comes up to you and says, hey, you're looking very beautiful because it's holy, it doesn't mean that he's coming charging at you or he's taking his best foot forward in terms of trapping you. It could also be that it's a very unconscious way of, greeting you, maybe starting a conversation, maybe initiating something so that he's a newcomer. He's trying to make himself comfortable with another employee or peer. So let's not take everything that is coming from a man like a harassment, and let's not understand that every smile or any acceptance from a woman is also an intimation of she putting her step forward and we taking it in the wrong way. Okay, so that communication can only be clarified when we understand that man and women are here specifically as citizens to work. When we understand that, we are coming from a space where we want to be gender neutral, where we want to support each other as an ecosystem and grow powerfully, rather than just encroaching in personal spaces and making workspace very unhealthy or very unsafe, or also coming from the space of not liking some aspects at workplace. So apart from that, I think there can be many scenarios where there can be age bias or gender bias or discrimination bias or any other biases that we hold today, culture bias, biases of generation gaps, biases that we hold only as man or women, male or female, only as a male child can do this, a female child should do this. So these are all cultural biases and biases that we are holding from our own forefathers. So there can be many other biases that we hold, but keeping aside the biases that our generations or our forefathers had, today we are emerging powerfully in the 22nd century. So nowhere can we compare our children with our forefathers. Okay, so one important thing is laws and acts and rules are made. They help you and they enable you to become a better person. That's what Right2Rise does. The first step is awareness. If you don't have your system aware, so whether you're a small company of say 10 people or you're a big company of 10 lakh people, you must start becoming aware first. If you are aware, then you will probably be knowing how you can go ahead and do something more. Next, have your systems, policies, documents in place. Third, be ready to understand and welcoming to understand the culture of the organization and what people need so that you can help to get a two-way system or a two-way communication ahead. And fourth, just by having documents or annual reports in place, you don't become compliant. You need to have a lot of activities that drive the openness of people coming up to the committee or the committee sharing initiatives where, communication is happening more openly and there are no mishaps of the same wrongdoings again and again. Because when we say prevention and prohibition, which is the first step, we don't want to go to a stage where there is already a situation occurred and we keep on readdressing it. Okay, so that comes third. Yes, the act works on prohibition, prevention, and redressal. But I would say we should be starting first ahead about understanding, knowing things, asking questions, seeking feedback, going back and again reiterating, hey, if you made this kind of approach, do I understand? Is it something that you are trying to approach me for such and such thing, or is it done by mistake? Because there's no harm in getting up and asking somebody what they mean by their actions or what you understand from their actions, because we today copy a lot of our Western culture. But along with copying our Western culture, I think we should start to even communicating as the Western do, very openly and very transparently. If we can't do that, and if we are still carrying the Indian introvert culture, or maybe a culture that we follow in terms of our heritage, then we should also be ethically conversing that through our actions. So like we say, walk the talk, we should also walk the talk in terms of our rights and laws, and not just budge a line and say, hey, I'm woman, give me the ticket first, or hey, I'm man and I should be standing last. When we talk about the theme of UN, that is embrace equality, then we should be standing equal. And only when we stand equal, only when we talk about things equally, then we are actually walking the talk, we are actually following the laws and ecosystem. And then I'm sure that we will not have so many breaking the laws, and we'll be open to more newer systems. We'll be having more diversity quotient. We'll be having high ladies working on the board directors, and very forward looking organizations. And that's what I feel today's the way forward should be taking as a takeaway for all the viewers to go. So that's what I wanted to share as of now with the viewers. Other than that, I think Right2Rise has various programs, from awareness to certifications on POSH and POCSO. We've also started a lot of diploma programs on women empowerment and women laws and rights, and on human rights. So if you do wish, then please connect us on the handles of www.right2rise.in, or maybe you can contact on our email on contact@right2rise@gmail.com, or maybe you can catch me up on my number, which is available on LinkedIn or any of the Way Forward interview bites. So I'm sure everything has a solution. It's just that we need to get up and be that bold warrior and keep walking, 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 walking. If we feel somewhere that somebody has pushed us to that level where we can't speak up. So you will find the right person soon by taking the plunge and at least making the courageous move of continuing to move.
Wonderful. Wonderful, ma'am. So, just a question from my side. So there's a lot of people who have faced this and they tend to go into depression. That's what we see.
Yeah.
So, what is your idea for them to get out of it easily? What is the one part that they can start to think?
I came across this write-up today. Okay, it just came up to India today. And it was about Khushbu Sundar opening up her sexual abuse by her father that leaves a scar on the child for life. We know Khushbu Sundar as a very big actress in the South. Okay, for her to get up after so many years when she's so old and talk that she has been a victim of child abuse and child sexual abuse, and talking also as a BJP leader today, it's a very big thing. But she did that at National Commission for Women, standing up for not only herself, but also for the others. There are many other examples. If we take Hindi movies, if we take Hindi actors, if we take many people who talk about mental health, and they have overcome and spoken on social media, facing their own self. Let me tell you, they've not done it for all of us alone. They've done it for themselves first. Because unless you don't remove that, it's going to trouble you a lot throughout your life. Secondly, I would just say it's difficult for me to say it's okay. It's difficult for me to say forget it. But I know that the reason why they are there is because there was nobody there to support them. But if you really feel that nobody was there to support you, why not you become somebody's support today? Then you must join with the Way Forward, with Right2Rise today, with me today. And we should be becoming warriors of change together to create some association so that we can go and help every person today who's going through that. For that, we need you to reach out to us. For that, you need to speak to us. So anytime you undergo this kind of activity, you must look up Google up organizations that are working towards sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and go to a trusted person to talk it out. Yes, family is okay to talk about, but we don't know whether abusers or harassers are still lingering in the family or in the known circle. So we always say share it with somebody who you feel trusted. And yes, things cannot be reverted, things cannot be taken back. But I'm sure you and me understand that at least together we can overcome the pain that you have undergone, the agony that you have undergone, and become somebody more powerful for avoiding many other circumstances that are yet to happen with others.
True, true, wonderful. So I think that was a very positive way of putting it, and I'm sure the world is not going to end with such a problem. So there are many more things which are going to be beautiful in the path. So thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us with this and making us aware that we have to take a step forward even after going through a difficult situation. As they say, it's not always going to be dark or it's not always going to be bright. So after a dark patch comes a beautiful bright patch. So thank you so much, and it's really nice to have you. May all the women out there cherish this and understand the importance of being aware and being with people and approaching the right people. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I think we believe that everybody has the right to rise, and the way forward, together with Right to Rise, wishes you all the blessings to rise ahead, to take the action for yourself and keep moving. I think that's the blessing. Thank you so much, Team TWF and Miss Anu, for having us on your show, and for the viewers to watch this and take the necessary courage for your own life and become the most powerful leaders. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.